Most of you, if not all, are watching this video and learning Git because you want to get a better job in IT, whether in software development or in cloud or in DevOps, etc. But just knowing the theory is not enough. You need to demonstrate that you have done some stuff before you get selected by recruiter. In this video, I'm going to go over some of the general tips and tricks as well as 5 GitHub projects that you should do to get selected by recruiter as well as get your knowledge up. Everything I'm going to share in this video are battle tested. This is my resume from 3 years back. I know it is ugly Microsoft Word format, but if you notice, I have given my GitHub profile link in this resume, and this resume got selected by an Amazon recruiter, and the recruiter reached out to me. I went through the interview and got selected by Amazon. I want to share all the nuggets of information that helped me got selected so that you can do the same. So let's start with general tips. The most important tip is sometimes you think you need to have a perfect code, perfect README file before you can upload it to your repository. Don't do analysis paralysis. Done is better than perfect. One good README file format I follow is explain what this repository is doing and what you learned and then how to run the code. For example, this is my Lambda repository and you could see some of this code is from 4 years back. If I go to the README file, I simply explain what this repository is for, such as this is a repository of various lambdas that I have written over the years, and then I explain a little bit about each lambda without going into too much detail. I did not even put the name of each lambda and what they do. But the important part for the recruiter is this section, things I learned. For example, with this repository, I learned AWS Lambda, Python coding, Boto3, etc. And then, how can someone else grab this repository and run it in the how to run section? Next tip, mention any noteworthy pull requests, such as if you have contributed to open source or even a pull request to a friend's projects with labels and issues. That way the recruiter knows that you know how to work in a team setting, you know how to ask someone to review a code, how to move back and forth with a pull request, how to merge and close pull request, etc. Because this feature is used in day-to-day real-world software projects. 3 years back, I did not have any noteworthy pull requests, but now I have these 2 pull requests where I contributed to official AWS reference architectures under AWS samples. So if sometime down the line, if I decide to switch my job, I will highlight these 2 pull requests in the resume. Next tip, have a professional GitHub profile picture and name. I know this is obvious, but sometimes we geeks, yes, I am a geek as well, think it's really cool to have some name from a video game or a profile picture from a video game or the latest movie or some latest TV shows to be displayed in our professional GitHub repository, but that is not really recommended. And I say this because I am guilty of that myself. My previous GitHub profile name was Serenity Desire. This is the character name from my priest in World of Warcraft. Thankfully, one of my senior friend gave me this feedback, and then I switched my profile picture and profile name to a more professional one. Next tip, don't just fork clone bunch of repositories, personalize it, change some code. Don't just fork clone and just change the README file. Recruiters can tell easily that you haven't done any work on it. And sometimes when recruiters give you a call, they will ask you a question about, hey, what about this repository? Can you tell me what it does? You should be able to explain any artifact within your repository to the interviewer or the recruiter. All right, those are the general tips that I would follow. Next, let's go through 5 GitHub projects to get recruiter attention as well as upskill yourself. Number 1, consuming a popular API. In real-world project, everything is driven by API. So in this GitHub project, you can take any sample API such as an API that gives you Bitcoin price, a random news, random cat or dog facts, and then you can build a simple HTML where users can go call this API and you will display the output. Here is a list of all the free APIs. This is the repository. If I scroll down, You can pick and choose. For example, if you like books, you can pick APIs related to books, and you can scroll down and you can see there are a bunch of different areas where you can call your free open APIs. And if you click one of them, such as dog facts, it's gonna tell you how to code it, how to call the API, etc. And a lot of us are not savvy in front end. So if you don't feel like doing a simple HTML page, you can consume the API using a backend periodic process. I am not good at front end at all. So I actually used a Lambda to call an API periodically. I used the news API, which gives us random news, and then I saved those news into a database, and then I generated reports to show the news. And then you can save a couple of those sample output reports in a folder in your GitHub repository as well, and explain that how you got the report. Next option, this one is super popular, but this only applies if you are going for a front-end job. This is a front-end website, such as a simple online store or a pizza restaurant. It doesn't need to be intricate. It doesn't need to be like Amazon.com or any of the commercial e-commerce site, but just a website where you can display some products with the price. People can go click, see the description, see the pictures. That's sufficient. One example is this airline booking system. This AWS airline booking is totally serverless, and this is the UI for it. So you can deploy this, but one of the cool thing is, remember I was talking about pull requests. So this repository actually has a bunch of issues open, such as payment, API and boundaries, convert booking process, etc. If you think you can contribute to these issues, that would look awesome. That means you can contribute to official AWS repository. And if you highlight this, any recruiter will be super interested in you. Next GitHub project is create an API. So the first project is consuming an already built APIs, but if you are going for backend jobs, you absolutely need to know how API works. You can use any API management platform of your choice, such as Apigee, MuleSoft, Kong. So obviously I'm a little biased. I like API Gateway the best. So what you need to do is you create the API in API Gateway, or you write a Swagger file. So save the Swagger file in the repository, as well as the backend and infrastructure as code and any authentication authorization. So when I talk about backend, each API needs to have some sort of backend which is gonna do the computation. For example, this cat API or dog API is probably calling some software running in some virtual machine and getting some data from some database. And this ISE and auth-n, auth-z part is optional. ISE stands for infrastructure as code. If you are going for cloud DevOps jobs, then you will do this part, else you can ignore this part. And authentication authorization is always a pain point. If you integrate some sort of security in your API, make sure you put those on the repository as well. The next one, which is pretty critical, especially if you are going for cloud jobs, is to create a DevOps pipeline and put any associated artifacts in the repository. And you can decide what pipeline or what part of the pipeline you want to put in your repository. Sometimes folks stress a lot thinking that they have to show everything end to end. That's not the case. If you want to show how to deploy software into a EC2, that's fine. If you want to show how can you do unit testing in a CI/CD using EC2 or Lambda, that's fine. If you want to show how to provision a Lambda using DevOps pipeline, that's cool as well. If you want to take things to the next level, you can always provision a Kubernetes cluster and then deploy your software to the pods. It is always better to do something simple than not doing anything at all. For example, so one of my repository is for doing unit testing in pipeline, especially for CI/CD pipeline for Lambdas. So I've saved the tests in this tests folder. The README file, again, this is not perfect. I could have done a better job in it. But I have the buildspec.yaml file, which is the configuration file for code build. And then I have the actual Lambda function. Another example is I have this repository called EKS demos. And then here I have this EKS DevOps flow _1 demo. And here I have saved everything that is required to deploy to your Kubernetes cluster running on Amazon EKS. So I have the Docker file, IAM roles, build spec, and a couple of other things. As you could see, none of these are pretty neatly organized. But the important part is I have done all this myself and I have uploaded this, and whenever any recruiter says, oh, EKS demos, they're gonna ask you, hey, can you explain what it does? And then if you can explain what it does, you get major points. And the last GitHub project, this is super popular right now. I did not do this. I showed you guys and girls my ugly Microsoft Word format resume. You can build your own resume website. You can just Google, there are a bunch of GitHub repository for this. So instead of having a paper resume or resume in PDF or Word, you can have a website where you list your skill with animation, this, that. If you are going for a front-end job, this one showcases your front-end design skill. But if you're also going for cloud DevOps, you can build a website pretty easily, a static website, for example, with AWS, using S3 bucket and API gateway Lambda. You could build that, and that kind of showcases your cloud DevOps skill as well. Alright guys and girls, that's the lecture. Please let me know if you know of any other good GitHub projects or you used any other tips and tricks that have personally helped in your career. Please put those in the comment section so others can be benefited from that. Alright, that's it for this one. I'll see you guys and girls in the next lecture.